Sup guys, and welcome to the final part of my series ranking every single one of the bosses in the Fromsoft games. We are finally here at the absolute fucking bottom of the barrel, garbage bin, shit stinking, just dump truck section of the list. Not a single boss here has a fucking redeeming quality in sight. We are in the shits. There is nothing good from here on out. And you know what? Let's just get into it with 166. And that's going to be King Allant, or True King Allant as he's sometimes called, from Demon's Souls. So, simple as, just shouldn't have been a boss. He should have been there, you know, for lore reasons, but he shouldn't have been a boss. He could have been like an NPC you talk to, and then he just says, oh no, oh, and then he just dies, disappears, gives you a little like lore spiel or something. I wasn't really paying attention, but fuck me, man. What the fuck is this? He can't do anything. His attacks won't hit you. They do no damage. He has barely any health. The arena is so small as well. It's like they knew, like, yeah, you won't need much space for this guy. You need to heal? Why? Why would you need to heal? It's just, I don't know, man. Just fucking exhausting. I'm glad at the very least we get False King Allant, so we get a boss fight, because this just doesn't count. This just doesn't count, man. It's less of a boss fight and more of just a roadblock to get to the ending. Really just sad. Nothing else to say about this guy. Cool that you get the sword from him though, that's something. So, at 167 from Bloodborne, it's the One Reborn. So, if you fought the One Reborn before, you know exactly why this fucking thing is so fucking awful. It's just not fun. It really just purely comes down to that. Fighting this thing is not enjoyable. Stood around waiting and just running in and getting kicked by a million fucking legs. The animations don't make any sense. You can never really tell what you're supposed to do sometimes during the fight. It's just like, can I go near this point? Is it even attacking? Is that just its leg walking, or is it kicking right now? It's just fucking miserable. And then you've got the casters on the roof, which might as well not be there, because it's similar to the Tower Knight, where if you do go up and kill them, the One Reborn can do almost nothing. It will shoot a projectile every now and then, but it just barely ever fucking hits you. It might as well not be there. It might as well not take part. It's just like a little section of the fight right at the beginning, like, oh, I guess kill these guys first. I don't know. It might as well be part of the boss run back. It's just fucking pointless. Outside of that, like, there's just nothing going for him. He's annoying. He's not the hardest boss, but when he does kill you, it's like, oh, cool, I guess that was an attack that he was using just there. I guess I deserve that. Fuck me, you know? The vomit attack is also a huge pain in the ass, because the animation is just, it's so subtle. You'll be fighting the boss 1 minute, and then it's like, oh shit, that's the vomit attack. I'm dead. I'm fucking dead. Running away. Oh, and I'm dead. Just no merit to this guy. I hate him. Hate playing against him. He is the only boss I will unironically just summon for in Bloodborne, because I'm like, I just don't want to fight this fucking guy. I won't even summon for Micolash, and he's further down the list. Just, fuck the One Reborn, man. At 168 from Elden Ring, it's the Valiant Gargoyles. So, the Valiant Gargoyles is, like, probably the result of everyone down at Fromsoft sitting there and saying, you know what? What if we took Demon in Pain, you know, Demon Prince, and we made it shit? What if we just made it fucking awful in almost every way? No thought put into it, reused enemies, absolutely don't belong together, perfectly okay on their own, but not as a gank. Not as a fucking gank. I think it's sort of meant to be based on the Dark Souls, the Gargoyles fight from the first Dark Souls game, right? Because they're two gargoyles, one comes in at half health. I mean, he comes in at full health when he does, but you know, you get the point. A huge misstep with the boss fight is the poison. It's fucking invisible. It has basically no audio cue, barely a visual tell, and they'll just put it out. They'll just put out poison, which doesn't just poison you, it also ticks away at your health. It chips at it. There's no thought put into these guys. They're so just horribly put together. I don't know what the fuck they were thinking. And I'm gonna go on my big fucking rant when we get to the next Elden Ring duo boss. about just how disappointed I am with every single one of the duo bosses in just Elden Ring in general. It's just such a shame, man. It's such a fucking shame. And I know they are optional. They are optional unless you're doing Brandy's quest line, but just it's not an excuse, man. These guys fucking stink. So at 169, hands down the most pitiful waste of time in Dark Souls 3, it's the Ancient Wyvern. So I mentioned with True King of Land, I would have preferred if he just wasn't a boss. If you got there, you could talk to him, and it's like, okay, lore. Awesome, we beat the game. With Ancient Wyvern, kind of a similar case. It just shouldn't have been a boss. It should have been a big, optional enemy that it's like, oh, there might be a secret way to kill this thing, and you get a bunch of extra souls, or you get some dragon scales, or you get the dragon, the twinkling headstone. But no, it's a boss, and you have to kill it. If you want to get to, if you want to get through the area, you have to kill it. Because it fogs off the fucking wall to get through. Once you know how to fight this boss, you're going to find it the same every single time. And I think they intended you to, like, fight the enemies because the dragon will periodically fly up and it'll breathe fire and, you know, you have to avoid that. But why would you do that? When you can just run through, the enemies don't chase you that far. There's the one with the axe that can, like, throw its little chain blade at you. I guess that one might hit you, but that's it. It's just such a fucking pathetic excuse for a boss. It just shouldn't have been one. Oh, and another thing that really pisses me off about this boss, which I think honestly put it even lower, no boss soul. Why is there no boss soul for it? Like, anything. Anything as like a sorry for fighting this fucking piece of shit. And you know what? I'm just gonna throw this in there. If you check, like, people have made YouTube videos about cut content in Dark Souls, there's a cut weapon with a unique model called the Ancient Dragon Halberd. So, at some point, there probably was a boss soul, and they just fucking didn't include it. It's just such a slap in the face. Oh, why? It's so fucking depressing. But, that's all you can really say. Just a big, depressing waste of time. Shouldn't have been a boss. But, whatever. Coming in at 170 from Elden Ring, it's the Godskin Duo. So, I would presume most people saw this coming, that this would be the worst boss in Elden Ring, but for good fucking reason. I mean, Jesus Christ. Like, you know what? I'm just gonna go into this right now. I do not understand how they fucked up every single duo boss in Elden Ring. Because, like, there were no mob bosses, so I can excuse them not improving on the mob bosses. There weren't really any gimmick bosses except for Rykard, so okay, fair enough, that's fine. And you know what? Rykard is probably my favorite gimmick boss. He's amazing. But, like, they know how the formula works. Like, they know. We had Ornstein and Smo, who were great. Dark Souls 2, despite having admittedly a lot of shitty, like, duo bosses, they did have Dark Lurker, who was also great. And then Dark Souls 3, I was worried, you know, at first, oh, no duo bosses. And then in the DLC, there were two duo bosses, two separate duo bosses in the DLC that were both great. That being the Demon in Pain and, what's her name? Scythe Woman and Jugman. I forget their names for some reason. And then in Elden Ring, they're all shit. They are all shit. And they're shit in the Dark Souls 2 way of just two enemies don't belong together and they both just attack you at once and you're meant to just deal with it. The only real way to deal with them is to run away constantly and just get hits in. Or in the case of Godskin Duo, I guess just keep killing one of them over and over again. Don't fight both of them because they both have their own phase too, which is fucking obscene. They have the pillars in there, but they can break the pillars and then they can throw projectiles over the pillars. So what was the point? You can break a backrow kind of, but because they both move at the same speed, they'll fucking get you. They'll both catch up to you at the same time. They both have projectiles. They're both, like, about the same speed. It's... oh my god, they just fucked up on every single level with these guys. It's just... So, at 171 from Bloodborne, it's Micolash, the host of the fucking nightmare. Just... what the fuck were they thinking? Like... what is this? What even is this shit, man? Why? Why did they do this? It's barely a boss. It's such an awkward, stupid, pointless fight. It's piss easy, but it's so unbelievably tedious and annoying just chasing around a fucking hallway like a headless chicken to get him into one room, one specific room, where he will fight you. I guess you could technically hit him when he's running, and you could maybe beat the whole boss like that, just keep like pot-shotting him and he'll never go in the room. I don't know, I don't think anybody has the patience for that. It's hard enough having the patience to just get him in the fucking room. But when you get him in the room, that's when the real boss fight begins, and he has one attack in his first phase, and then he has like 3 attacks, I guess, because now he can punch you. Oh my fucking Christ, it's so awful. It's just pitiful. I don't know why it's here. I want to say like it shouldn't be a boss fight like I did with Ancient Wyvern or True King of Land, but should it? I don't know. I don't fucking know who this is. I don't know who this is. I don't even care who it is. He's just irritating, and every now and then he'll just go, oh, just fucking, he'll come in his pants when you're chasing him around, and you have to listen to that. Ah, it's fucking awful. But you know what? Just as a super duper bonus clip, I think I have seen people do this before, but here's the way you're supposed to kill him, at least in my opinion, because it's happened twice now. Here, I'll just show you.
Majestic! A hunter is a hunter, even in a dream. But nightmares, rules, and charms unending.
So, at 172 from Dark Souls 2, it's Vendrick. Let me make this super clear. A boss that has abysmal or just no lore can be made up for by just making it a super solid fight. For example, the Dragon Slayer armor. I don't really know what its lore is, and I don't really care, but it's not super important to the story. That said, Dragon Slayer armor is a really fun, engaging, just a good fight. But absolutely wonderful lore, no matter how cool or interesting it is, cannot make up for a shit fight. And Vendrick is abysmal. This is a nothing of a boss fight, and there is so much wrong with it. First of all, he has like 2 attacks if you're up next to him. The overhead swing and the sideways swing. He has a ranged attack if you stand at a distance, but like just hug his left ankle, he'll never hit you. All of his attacks will go over you. You don't even have to dodge. You don't even have to dodge. You can if you want to feel real safe. And also there's the mechanic where you have to get the giant souls to weaken him, which is just such a fucking insult. All that work to fight this guy. Go fight all of the giants, collect all the giant souls, fight the fucking ancient dragon, sit through that dog shit. What, to fight fucking Vendrick? And I don't care if the lore is the reason that he's so like weak and shitty and pathetic. You wouldn't accept that as an excuse for anyone, like any other boss, and you shouldn't. For example, Gwyn. Gwyn is also like, he's a shell of his former self. He's gone mad and blah blah blah. You could have done the same thing for Vendrick. Just say that, oh, Vendrick lost his mind, and that put him into a crazy state where he can swing really fast. But oh, he's nothing like he used to be. Any excuse, any fucking excuse to not have to fight this. They did have the mechanic at first on release where the first time you fought him, he'd have minimum defenses, but they got rid of that. Now you have to collect the giant souls, which is just, it's so fucking tedious just to fight Vendrick. What a, oh my god, it's just a miserable fight. Just overall, just abysmal. And like, I really can't emphasize this enough. I just could not give 2 fucking shits about the lore when it comes to this boss fight. Because no one's gonna sit there with a straight face and say like, oh, my favorite part about Vendrick? Ah, my favorite part about the Vendrick fight. Yeah, it was reading the item descriptions. Fuck you. I'm sorry, man, but Jesus, there's just no defending this boss. Fuck Vendrick, let's move on. So, speaking of disappointing bosses, we finally made it to Aldia, Scholar of the First Sin from Dark Souls 2. This boss is just... let me explain some of the worst things about this boss. Number 1, just it's shit to fight. All this boss is just waiting around, waiting for it to let you hit it, and then dodging like, what, 4, 3, maybe? Just a few attacks, a small amount of attacks. The boss absolutely reeks of fucking laziness as well. They genuinely couldn't have been lazier. This thing does not have attacks. It has 2 animations and projectiles. That's all it does. It's just so fucking lazy. And we finally had the opportunity when they, you know, said, okay, we're making a true final boss, the secret final boss. It's like, oh, sweet, it could be even better than the Chandra, like leave a really good taste in your mouth finishing Dark Souls 2. But no, we genuinely got a boss that is worse than the Throne Watcher and Defender, and worse than the Chandra. How the fuck? And I want to remind you guys that this is after, by the way, this boss was made after Fume Knight. It was made after Sir Alon. It was made after any of those bosses. How did they step back so much? It's painful. And it really kind of does link, well, at least for me, it does kind of link into the laziness of Scholar of the First Sin, which I genuinely just believe is a downgrade to the original game. It is the laziest, like, true version of the game you could possibly fucking make. Just reuse a shit ton of assets and sprinkle them around the game. Stick a Dragon Rider in Shrine of a Mana, fuck it, who cares? Oh, stick the zombie horse from the chariot fight. Let's put that in Drangleic Castle. No reason, just put it there. Check it out, guys, it's a new game. And I guess Aldia should have been a warning sign, like, if this was their idea of, like, a true final boss, just a big static fucking character model, then yeah, of course Scholar of the First Sin was just gonna be a lazy cash grab. Seriously, just, if you haven't bought that game, or you've never played Dark Souls 2, just get the original. Like, at the very least, they were nice and included Aldia in the original game, but I don't think anybody would miss him if they didn't. So yeah, that's Aldia. So, at 174 from the Dark Souls 2 DLC, it's Lud and Zallen. I mean, where else will Lud and Zallen gonna be but right down here in the shit pits? So, a big part of the fight, sucking absolute dick, is not only is it a reused boss, but it's a reused boss from the same DLC it was introduced in. Like, just zero thought. There's two of them, their movesets do not work in tandem, they will just overlap, and if you're real unlucky, they'll just jump you both at once. Once will be firing off a fucking magic attack, the other one will just be swiping or leaping at you right up in your face. Just, what the fuck were they thinking? And let's get to the other element, which does suck, because it's almost inoffensively bad, the actual boss fight, in comparison to the run-up. We all know it. Frigid Outskirts, just pure shit. No excusing it. No one defends this area. It is not fun in the fucking slightest. The first time you run through this area, you will already hate it. Like, you don't have to keep going through it and say like, ugh, not this part again. It's just like, oh, this part I just played once? Yep, not this part again. Fuck this part. And all that run back for a fucking reused, barely thought out duo boss. It's insulting. It should make you feel fucking offended. You should be genuinely, like, you should feel personally attacked by this boss. And I do. I feel personally attacked by Lud and Zallen. Fucking hate them. No excuse. Lazy shit. I will always either skip this or just come to this area as overleveled as humanly possible just to say I did it. Because fuck me, it is awful. But that's all you can really say about Lud and Zallen, so let's move on. So, coming in at 175, another Dark Souls 2 boss, it's the Ancient Dragon. So, let's be real here, the Ancient Dragon is completely ignorable. You never have to fight this boss. Even if you want to fight Vendrick, like you don't want to fight this guy but you do want to fight Vendrick, you can still ignore him, it just takes longer to kill Vendrick. So should I place the boss this low, since you can, you don't ever have to fight it, right? And when I do choose to fight it, which, you know, I personally try and fight every boss every single playthrough, even if I don't like them, just, I don't know, it's a habit, I just like doing it. And yeah, like, there's just no defending this fucking thing. Unbelievably painful to fight. If you fight it as soon as it's presented, like, every single attack will one-shot you, and even if you come back way later in the game when you want to fight Vendrick, it will still almost one-shot you with every move. Its moves aren't super difficult to dodge. Oh, sorry, let me scratch that. One of its moves is not super difficult to dodge. Most of them are pathetic, but then it has the fly up in the air move, which sometimes it'll like reposition itself closer to you right as it's doing it. And if this shit hits you right in the middle, you're dead. Absolutely, you're getting one shot. Even if you can survive one hit, it combos into itself. this, oh my god, like, I'm just exasperated talking about this thing, because that's all it is. Just a huge fucking grinding hassle. A massive health bar, one-shot moves, zero thought put into it. The only good thing about it is I guess it looks cool, and that's it. I challenge anyone to find a good thing to say about the Ancient Dragon. I'm just, fuck me, man. Just fuck me. Fuck this big piece of shit. Let's get to the next one. So, at 176, the worst boss in Demon Souls, it's the Dragon God. So, let's be fucking real here. Let's be completely real. Dragon God's gimmick is just so fucking poorly done. The entire idea is that when you're running past, you have to look at its eyes, and if it can see you, it will alert to you. Its eyes will go red and it'll alert to you. However, I feel like there's no consistency with this thing. First of all, it doesn't make any fucking sense, because the Dragon Lord's eyes, they're all along the side of its face, right? So, like, reasonably, it should always be able to see you with its peripheral vision. Am I trying to avoid the eyes pointing at me, or his face pointing at me? Either way, I still feel like it'll just randomly see you at different points in the fight. I don't know if anyone else has this experience, maybe it's just me. But it's just fucking awful. And outside of that, it's just like a puzzle boss, and the puzzle is just fire 2 ballistas, and you win. You just win. I mean, you do have to go and hit it in the face afterwards, but it's barely part of the fight, might as well not be there. Oh, it's just so fucking sad. And this guy looked so cool in the intro. I love his mouth, the big like 2-layered teeth thing. I don't know, it looks so fucking cool. He's like a giant dragon shark, man. And then you get to the fight, and it's just awful. I guess the one nice thing I could also say about him, considering he's a Demon Souls boss, no boss run back. No boss run back at all. From Demon Souls, the game with possibly the worst boss run backs in the series. I mean, don't get me wrong, Lud and Zallen still have the worst boss run back in the entire series. But, you know, Demon Souls kind of like, all of them are boss run backs and a lot of them suck. There's no defending Dragon God, I don't think anyone likes it, and, you know, you'll put me down as a fucking official hater of Dragon God. Me and my homies all fucking hate Dragon God. And that's why he's the 3rd worst boss in the whole series, but there are still 2 worse than him. So let's just get to those. So, the 2nd worst boss in the entire series, at least in my opinion, and the worst boss in Dark Souls 2, it's the fucking Gank Squad from the DLC. So, what can you say about the Gank Squad to defend these guys? Like, there is nothing. They are unbelievably lazy, just being 3 AI-controlled NPCs. They're all wearing armor sets from, you know, the base game. I don't know what the fuck, like, I don't know what lore-wise they're doing here. The arena is just a big, fumbling maze of shit. They filled it with the statues that inflict petrify, just to, I don't know, just to piss you off, I guess. Like, how can we make this more annoying? Should we put, like, lava coming from the ceilings? What about you're always poisoned? Why don't we just stun the player upon entry to the fog? Like, I don't know how they could have made this fucking thing worse. It is abysmal. So just lazy and frustrating and not fun. And it's not difficult in like a, oh shit, you know, I've got to dodge these attacks and I've got to find moments to heal. It's not difficult in that way. It's difficult in that it tests your patience. It is a slog to get through this fucking abysmal nightmare. You can't just rush them all down at once because one of them has a fucking great bow and one of them is just in the Havel set with a massive hammer. And you can't even stunlock them, for the most part, because they have fucking poise. Like, the one in a leather armor set has poise. Like, you cannot take a fucking hit from a dagger in that set, but it just has poise, just to make the fight that bit more annoying. Everything they represent is just pure shit. Like I said, lazy, frustrating, annoying. The boss run-up is atrocious as well, just a huge, cave of poisonous, petrifying, slimy shits. There's just no redeeming qualities, and that is why it's so low, because there is nothing. You get nothing out of this fight. Oh, and no boss soul. You know what? You get the fucking flower skirt. You get nothing for this fight. You get a piece of armor you will never wear, because it's just useless. It's not even a cool piece of armor. Like, I can't remember which boss I think after you fight the blue smelter demon, you can get that mask which constantly covers you in water. That's kind of cool. You can wear that in, like, in New Game Plus in the fire areas and be like, oh, okay, like, I'm taking less damage here. That's useful. What if you got, like, don't know, a hat you can wear that makes you immune to poison. Some sort of reward. It's just such a slap in the cock that once you get through this fucking thing, it's like, here's your reward. Nothing. Just absolutely fuck this boss. But you know what? It's not the worst in the series. And I think we all know what number 1 is, so let's just get it over with. And finally, at 178 from Dark Souls 1, it's the Bed of Chaos. So it should come as a shock to absolutely fucking no one that this thing is in last place. I'm pretty sure every single ranking list I've ever seen just despises this thing. It is the one thing every single person in the Souls community can agree on. Bed of Chaos is fucking rancid. An unbelievable, just heaping mound of steaming fucking gorilla shit. Just to name one of the, like, oh my god, you can just name so many things that are wrong with this boss. Nothing about it works. It is awful. It is terrible in practice. It is terrible in concept. I don't know how they would fix it. There's no way to fix it. Platforming in the Souls series is notoriously shit. I think all the games did it, like, really poorly. Even Elden Ring, which has a jump button, any case where you actually have to platform is still shit. Like the jumping puzzle to get to the Frenzied Flame ending. That stinks. I hate that, man. It's fucking awful. I guess Sekiro does fine, but I mean, you know, you have to grapple. But whatever. I'm getting off topic. The point is, oh my god, fucking Bed of Chaos stinks. Let's see, it has the hand swipe, which you cannot roll through because it's just a big physical object and so it will push you in. It's not that you get hit by the hands and get thrown in, it's that they genuinely physically push you. It's fucking miserable. I mean, there are methods to defeat it. You can quit and reload, or you can just die and keep running to the boss, which I would figure a lot of people did. I think my first time, that's what I did. I just kept dying. I was like, okay, I'll muscle through it eventually. I think exactly one time in my life, fighting this boss, I've managed to fight it and beat it without dying. And I will probably never manage it again. I think I actually get pretty far in this attempt on screen. Oh my fucking god. It is like the amalgamation of the rushed second half of Dark Souls 1. Because I don't even think like all like the areas are that bad. I mean, I don't like Tomb of Giants that much because of the darkness, but the area doesn't feel rushed. Lost Izalith fucking sucks, but I don't really get that much. I don't really get the hate towards like the Demon Ruins. I don't think that's terrible. Not great, but not good. But this thing, oh my god, I can't even say it was like slapped together in a week. Because look at it, it's huge. It's covered in animations. Like the boss room looks pretty cool. Even the boss itself, like, I don't think it looks that bad, but I don't know, like, it's almost like it was purposely made to be bad. I'm running out of things to even say, because, like, every single thing you can say about it is a negative. Every single thing. It's not fun to fight, and, yeah, it has earned its spot at the bottom. I hope they don't dethrone it, I guess. I mean, I don't know how they could, unless, I don't know. Maybe everyone they got to make Dark Souls 2, if they got them all together and then took away the few people that made like Fume Knight and Dark Lurker, and they just got the people that made like Covetous Demon and Ancient Dragon and told them, okay, you guys are free reign, you have 1 week to make a Souls game, go. Then maybe we could top it, but outside of that, it's here. It's just gonna languish at the bottom forevermore. But who knows, I think when the Elden Ring DLC comes out, I'll probably rank however many bosses are in that. I'll make that its own separate little video, and I'll try and approximate like where they'd probably land in the list. But for now, I mean, that's it. We've come to the end. The video is over, and I finally finished the boss list. This was just kind of like a passion project. I know it's not what people are used to seeing on my channel, and I get if you see this video in your recommendations, and you're like, oh, so I'm gonna make a Dark Souls video? I don't give a shit. I don't care. I just want to see Marge and the demons. Fair enough. Oh, here we go. This fucking fire attack kills me. This is bullshit, man. I made it in there and it fucking killed me. But, you know, I said I would make this video, and I did, and I'm happy I did. It's been fun to make. It's been cathartic, collecting all of the footage and deciding on a sort of order. Even then, like, looking way back at the list, I think there's, like, a couple I might put, like, 1 space up and 1 space down. But I think the general area the bosses exist in is like, it makes sense. Like, Better Chaos is at the bottom. Of course it's at the bottom. You know, X-Boss is in the middle, X-Boss is at the top. But looking back, I don't think there's anyone that I was way too harsh or way too generous to, so... Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you guys enjoyed this little mini-series if you happen to be into it. But like I said, if you're not, yeah, fair enough. This isn't the kind of stuff I normally make. And yeah, I guess I'll see you guys in the next video, but for now, peace out.